First at noon, heads up for travelers trying to make their way back home after the holidays. Hawaiian Airlines put out an alert on its website notifying guests to arrive at airports early because of an issue where the pre-check indicator may not appear on boarding passes, forcing pre-check flyers to go through the general security lanes. The airline says it is working to resolve the issue, but we're told you may encounter even longer security lines at the airports than usual, so give yourself extra time to make your flight, especially since AAA is forecasting that today will be one of the busiest travel days of the year. Shaquille Brewster has more on what travelers can expect.
Hi there. Well, Christmas may be over, but you see behind me here at Chicago's O'Hare Airport that the travel rush is well underway, and it's already clashing with some severe weather from coast to coast. We are starting the day this morning with more than 500 flight cancellations. That's a number that exceeds any daily total that we've seen this week alone, and it comes as TSA is forecasting their busiest day of passenger screenings to be Sunday. But we know the vast majority of folks will be driving on the roads today as they go to or from their holiday destinations. AAA saying that you can expect to see peak congestion in several major cities, including Chicago, including Denver, as well as Los Angeles. Their advice, if you are driving to or from your holiday destination, to do so before 11 a.m. because you can expect to see the most traffic between the hours of 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. No matter if you're driving or flying, make sure you give yourself that extra time. And for flyers, make sure you download the app of whatever airline you're flying.
New at noon, Honolulu's prosecutor has secured an indictment for Micah Auna, the man accused of killing his mother in Hawaii Kai last week. The 29-year-old was charged with second-degree murder after police found his mother, 60-year-old Michelle Hanapi Auna, dead at their home Saturday afternoon of apparent blunt force trauma. The prosecutor's office says because of the victim's age, Auna could face a mandatory minimum term of life in prison without parole if convicted. He's being held at OCCC without bail. A preventable tragedy in Hilo. A doctor pronounced dead in the same ER where she worked. The crash that took her life allegedly caused by an intoxicated driver. Ben Gutierrez has the story.
Hilo Benioff Medical Center confirmed that longtime emergency room doctor Judy Fitzgerald was killed in the head-on collision on the Daniel K. Inouye Highway. This comes as officials have been pushing to stop reckless and impaired driving.
She was saving lives, and now her life has been taken by an alleged impaired and drug-impaired driver.
Dr. Judy Fitzgerald was driving toward Kona on the DKI Highway at around 7:30 Wednesday night. Police say a Toyota Tacoma crossed the center line near mile marker 13 and hit Fitzgerald's car head-on. The ER doctor was pronounced dead at the hospital where she worked.
Whenever we had a traffic fatality, of course, the victims would be transported to the hospital, and most of the times we make contact with Dr. Fitzgerald because she pronounces the victim deceased. It's ironic that now she's being pronounced by one of her colleagues at the Hilo Medical Center.
All traffic fatalities are sad and tragic, but this in particular because she's a doctor in the ER room in Hilo. So this is a huge loss to the community.
Hilo Benioff's chief medical officer, Dr. Kathleen Catt, said Fitzgerald volunteered for numerous leadership roles at the hospital and was a steadfast advocate for the remarkable progress and growth in the healthcare community. The driver of the Tacoma, a 34-year-old Hilo woman, was treated at the hospital and released, and then arrested for suspicion of first-degree negligent homicide, driving while intoxicated, and reckless driving.
This holiday season, we pray that your final destination is not here, and definitely not here.
Hawaii County Mayor Kimo Alameda launched this new public service announcement just last week.
Too many of you are driving reckless, and some of you are driving drunk or impaired. And we know the dangers right here on Hawaii Island.
One of those dangers is the Daniel K. Inouye Highway, where the long straightaways are an invitation for some to speed.
I've seen vehicles passing, 7, 8 cars at a time. I mean, you need to slow down.
Fitzgerald is Hawaii Island's 21st traffic fatality of the year.
Let's not let these 21
victims in this past year, life go in vain. We need to stop this craziness and drive better.
Charges are still pending against the other driver, who remains in custody. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Ben. In Washington state, authorities have impounded a pickup truck that ran over a Mililani High School graduate. State Trooper Tara Marisa Guting died a week ago on Friday night while on duty. The 29-year-old was responding to a separate crash when she was hit by a driver in the shoulder lane and thrown into the highway, where she was then hit by a pickup truck. No arrests have been made. The first driver to strike Guting remained at the scene. A memorial service is scheduled for tomorrow in Washington. The governor of that state has also ordered flags to be flown at half-staff. HFD airlifted an injured hiker from the Cocoa Head Crater Trail just after 10 on Christmas morning. We're told the 45-year-old woman fell and suffered an ankle and leg injury. She was taken off the stairs to a nearby landing zone and taken by ambulance to the hospital.
Aloha on this Friday. Things are looking good weather-wise. However, you see that storm. It's not going to bring us much rain, but as it moves towards the east, it's going to basically block the trade winds for the next several days. We get much lighter winds, and we get a long run of light winds. And notice how dry it is. Just a few minor splashes for Hawaii Island and for Maui. Otherwise, we're going to see a very, very nice day with minimal rainfall and lots of sunshine. And those winds will run breezy for one more day. Lighter winds take over tomorrow, and they'll be running light through most of next week as well.
Thank you, Guy. Now to that massive holiday storm that has drenched the West Coast, causing hazardous driving conditions and high water rescues. It comes as the Northeast is bracing for a wave of winter weather. Dana Griffin is in Southern California with more.
This is day 3 of that massive atmospheric river system that has drenched the West Coast. Homes, cars buried in mud and debris, and these impacts could linger into the weekend. Flood watches remain as water continues to dump across the state. Officials say these are dangerous conditions that are shaping up. We've had hundreds of rescues, some people even having to be lifted by helicopter off of their roofs. In the Bay Area, tens of thousands were left Christmas Day without power. Wrightwood, the hardest hit community, they had a wall of mud and debris go through their town. Many people there stranded for several hours. Officials say even as the storm starts to clear out, they want people to be vigilant because the ground remains saturated, unstable, which means that tree limbs can fall at any time. Also, on the opposite end of the country, there is a significant winter storm taking shape. Up to 4 to 8 inches of snow could fall in New York and northern Pennsylvania. Back to you.
On Maui, new rules for tour companies operating out of the Lahaina small boat harbor. They will now have to meet their guests at a nearby parking lot and escort them to the harbor. Maui County this week announced changes to how the historic district is accessed after the harbor reopened for daytime use last week. Under the changes, vehicles can only enter from the Shaw Street access point on Front Street. The speed limit is also reduced to just 10 miles an hour as sidewalk repairs are still ongoing. Cruise lines and passengers coming to Hawaii are bracing for added taxes starting in the new year. The green fee is on track to go into effect starting January 1st after lawsuits against it were dismissed. The law increases the transient accommodation tax to 11%, and the counties can tack on a 3% surcharge. For the first time, visitors on cruise ships will also have to pay the fee in addition to visitors staying in hotels and short-term rentals. The fee is expected to generate $100 million a year to fund climate change efforts, but cruise lines and passengers call it unconstitutional.
It's a negative sales pitch.
It's a deterrent. It certainly is a deterrent.
When a cruise ship is docked, many of their passengers come out and they utilize our roads, our parks, our beaches, and our hikes. There has to be some shared responsibility for them to maintain it.
State Attorney General Ann Lopez says while the litigation is not over, she is confident in the legality of the law. We're learning more details about the Christmas Day U.S. airstrikes against Islamic State forces in Nigeria. Plus, there is a new sign that negotiations to end the war in Ukraine are intensifying. Olivia Rinaldi is at the White House. with more.
This is the burnt area Nigerian police cordoned off on Friday after U.S. military officials said they conducted airstrikes against Islamic State forces. The Defense Department also released this video of what it says was one of the missiles launched late Thursday. President Trump claimed in a social media post the Christmas Day operation targeted ISIS terrorists who have been killing, quote, primarily innocent Christians. President Trump called the strikes numerous and deadly, but did not offer additional details, like what was specifically targeted or the number of casualties. The Nigerian government, however, did say they shared intelligence with the U.S. before the attack. A Nigerian Islamic cleric criticized the airstrikes, saying it targeted a predominantly Muslim area with no history of Christian persecution.
There was never any incident of persecution of Christians in Sokoto states. Their churches were not attacked.
The military action in Nigeria comes amid a sign that diplomatic efforts to end the nearly 4-year war in Ukraine may be intensifying. On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters he'll likely meet with President Trump in Florida on Sunday to discuss, among other things, security guarantees for Ukraine. Zelensky's announcement came after he said he had a good conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on Christmas. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, the White House.
Ahead on This Is Now, fellowship and service bring hundreds together in South Maui. Plus, UH football fans are still reeling from that epic Hawaii Bowl comeback win. We'll hear from the key players who made it happen. Welcome back. Happening now, the Blood Bank of Hawaii is partnering with Dave & Buster's today for a blood drive. After giving blood, each donor will receive an unlimited play card, which they can use immediately to play games, win tickets, and prizes. It kicked off this morning at 9 a.m. and goes until 3 today. During this time of year, due to holiday travel and school breaks, the blood bank typically experiences a drop in donations, but the need for blood never stops. So if you can, save a life and play some games if you have the time today. Well, hearts and stomachs were filled up in Maui last night thanks to a Christmas tradition. Volunteers at St. Teresa's Church in Kihei have been serving hot meals to the hungry every day for decades. And as our Chelsea Davis reports, this year was extra special.
For the volunteers here at Halekaukau, they tell me they'd rather spend their Christmas holiday giving than receiving. And they hope acts of kindness like this will spread throughout Maui County. While many spent this Christmas at home opening presents surrounded by loved ones, 83 volunteers came to Halekaukou at St. Teresa's Church in Kihei to serve others.
All right, we're doing good.
Like 73-year-old John Gorman, who volunteers with the program on a regular basis.
I think in life, we go through life feeling that, you know, maybe we're not being paid enough, or maybe this, or maybe that, or my car, you know, but there are people with greater needs, and I think it's recognizing that.
He recognized the importance of giving back 66 years ago.
My father died when I was quite young. I was like 7 years old, and our needs were there, and the local community, especially at Christmas, had a similar type thing where we went and we got presents, and in some cases, that was maybe the only present that we got.
Aside from the singing and dancing and delicious food, kids also got a visit from Santa.
You been a good boy this year? Okay, that's good. Merry Christmas to you.
Halekaukou started feeding Maui's hungry in 1991. Over the past 34 years, they've served over 1.5 million meals. That's more than 12,000 consecutive days. The only missed day was the tsunami scare this year. Today, they served about 400 people.
My favorite part is getting to know everyone, meeting everyone. They're so friendly, and yeah, just grateful to be here with everyone.
We're just so blessed to be able to be here and just serve those who don't have anywhere else to go or are struggling with food insecurity, and just a big blessing to be here because Christmas is about giving.
If you want to learn more about Halekaukou or volunteer for next year, go to hawaiinewsnow.com. Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Chels. Let's take a look outside with our tower cam on this Aloha Friday post-Christmas. Guy Hoggy is going to have your full forecast when we come back in 2 minutes.
First Alert Weather with Guy Hoggy.
Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. We've got a great day shaping up. We got lots of sunshine on tap, and we still have breezy winds. But you see that storm system, as it moves to the east, it's going to basically push away the trade winds, and we'll get lighter winds for the weekend and for most of next week as well. Rain-wise, there's not much out there. You can see a few light drips and drops for the east sides of Maui and Hawaii Island, and those showers will be very, very sparse through the next couple of days. And then those winds will run breezy. I know there's soft right now, but as the day progresses, we'll get a nice trade wind breeze running about 15 to 20 in the afternoon. But again, know that the lighter winds are on the way for the weekend and for most of next week as well. So enjoy today with the great air quality and the lack of rainfall. We'll see lots of sunshine, so load up on the sunblock if you're heading outdoors. And the surf is still elevated for the North Shore, but that swell is dropping. Still, there's some pretty decent conditions up there as well. Pretty small everywhere else, but keep in mind, we've got another advisory level northwest swell that's coming in late Sunday, and Monday it's going to be big, so heads up on that. So this is what we're looking at. Breezy trade winds today, lighter winds tomorrow, lots of sunshine today and tomorrow. We're expecting a disturbance to come in with more clouds, not a lot of rain, but it's going to be a little cloudy Sunday and Monday. And notice the wind speeds still rather light, and that will lend itself to maybe some spotty afternoon showers. And those light winds will persist into New Year's Eve, and that means it might be a little bit smoky for the celebrations.
Thank you, Guy. Fans are still buzzing after Christmas Eve's thrilling Hawaii Bowl between the Rainbow Warriors and Cal Golden Bears. Cal Chinen has a breakdown of the dramatic game and reaction from the key players.
This year we've been through a lot of adversity, and in the games, offenses, we started off slow a lot, or been down a lot, but this team just doesn't stop fighting.
Rainbow Warrior fans were treated to an early Christmas present on Wednesday. The Bows with an emphatic comeback over Cal in the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. UH down as much as 21 points, their largest deficit of the season, clawed their way back to win their 6th Hawaii Bowl and tie the largest comebacks in program history.
Going down 21 early is it's not a fun situation. Definitely in the head. A lot of teams, probably won't be able to come back from that, but we have a great group of guys.
Quarterback Micah Alejado put on a gritty performance under center with 274 yards through the air with 3 touchdowns. But after going down with injury on the final drive, backup Luke Weaver went in and delivered the dagger. A 22-yard touchdown pass to Nick Senecal.
For both of those guys, it's a blessing to see, and you can't ask for much more for them.
Weaver, a junior college transfer, had a stretch of 2 starts earlier in the season when Alejado was down with an ankle injury.
Having the confidence of knowing what it feels like in the game in pressure moments, obviously that's another pressure moment, but yeah, to that extreme, it was great to have those reps in me already.
Wide receiver Pafele Ashlock was named the Hugh Yoshida MVP with 14 receptions and 2 touchdowns, but made sure to give flowers to Senecal and his game-changing moment.
It's your last one, man. You know what I mean? Go do something just to remember it. And for him, he hasn't had the most memorable season because he's been battling with injuries, but I think his heart and his grind, his work ethic is always there.
This win is the product of the turnaround the program has gone through under head coach Timmy Chang, who took over a team in turmoil. Fast forward 4 years, and the team finishes 2025 with a 9-4 record, just the 16th team to reach the 9-win mark.
The community feels it. They get behind you, they rally. There's so much things that we're asking for, especially the ledge and the community. Just to, we have this pride of this school.
Why not us? And that's the whole thing with us. Why wouldn't we be the team to flip it around? And that's what we take with pride. So, when you have a team with that kind of mindset, it's hard to stop.
Cal Chinen, Hawaii News Now Sports.
Well, still to come, no one is above the law when it comes to speeding, not even Santa himself. We have that story just ahead in 2 minutes. everyone. Time for some good news now. Law enforcement officials nationwide chased down and locked up greedy Grinches. They even had to pull over a speeding Santa and Mrs. Claus. Jeremy Roth has the details.
Hopefully everyone had a great Christmas holiday, and if you did, it may have been thanks to law enforcement officials who worked tirelessly to foil and spoil the plans of greedy Grinches across the country. Police and sheriff's departments everywhere shared images of officials protecting and serving by sprinting and swerving, chasing down Grinches out to spoil the festive fun at places like this mall in Illinois, a marketplace in Vermont, a Dairy Queen in Georgia, and even inside a school in Kentucky, where the seasonal sourpuss no doubt learned his lesson the hard way. The posts were all in good fun and served as a cheeky reminder that safe and sound holiday revelry is in part due to the men and women in blue who work diligently to keep your holiday glee Grinch-free. But hey, no one is above the law, not even the holly jolly big man himself.
Santa! I'm not gonna move until you...
Fulton County, Ohio Sheriff's deputies were surprised when they made a traffic stop and found the first couple of Christmas inside a vehicle they say was clocked going just a bit too fast.
Speed limit is 55. Yep. There's a lot of deer out here.
No arrests were made, but instead Santa and Mrs. Claus were issued a warning and let go, but not before snapping a photo of the surreal stop, which the department later shared on its social media accounts. Finally, take a look at a Louisiana man who's well known for combining the spirit of Santa and the style of the Grinch. WWL reports the driver, named LeCarry, spent hundreds of hours decking out his ride in thousands of lights, a litany of holiday figurines, and even a Max the dog riding shotgun. LeCarry says all the work is worth it for the looks on people's faces.
The main reason I do it is the smiles.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Finally, from rage bait to slop, we've been bringing you all the various words of the year from different publications. Well, UH Manoa's English department is now weighing in. Their choice is analog. That's the way of thinking. So instead of depending on automation, it relies on human judgment, attention, and physical engagement. Thanks for watching This Is Now, everyone. We're going to have more news first at 4 right here on KHNL. Aloha.